This is the Outlaw Sports Show.
My little special Outlaw Sports Talk.
With your host, Spurge.
I'm your guy, Spurge. You don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about. As you heard, unleashed,
unfiltered, raw. In the game.
What's up, everybody? It's me, the Outlaw. I got a stain on my shirt, and my wardrobe person did not tell me. Good job, wardrobe person. It is the craziest hour of sports, unfiltered, all of that good stuff. There's a lot of big things that are happening in the world of sports. Mainly here, there just happens to be this one little team out on the West Coast. And then there's this other team that's in the Great White North above us called Toronto. They're playing in the World Series, the Blue Jays and the LA Dodgers playing in the World Series. Game 1 is Friday night, but I was like, It's like, this is Outlaw Sports. I need somebody who's kind of an outlaw, like myself, kind of looks as good as me, like myself, to talk about the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. And I happened to meet this guy in Orlando, some crazy fool from the Great White North. I don't know, and he was traveling by himself. But I met my good buddy, Joey from Canada, who is joining us tonight on Outlaw Sports to talk the World Series. And, ladies and gentlemen, if you know, here at X Fan Show page, Outlaw Sports, all of that, we follow this little new football league for fans first, the Continental Football League. And Joey, unmute yourself. If I'm not mistaken, you live in Canada and understand the CFL rules.
Yeah, just a little bit. You know, our footballs arrive on dog sleds during the wintertime, as you guys all know up here in Canada. But before I go into football, I just want to say thank you, first of all, Jason, for inviting me onto the show.
Spurge. It's Spurge. It's not dirty anymore. It's Spurge.
I gotcha. All right, Spurge. And it's just good to be able to talk some sports with the Outlaws here. But before I start, I just want to play a little music here for a second.
Okay. That is beautiful. You should have told me because I'd had it ready to go for it, bro.
That's all right.
You should have told me.
All right. But so that's the theme song up here in Canada for our Blue Jays.
All right, so let's talk about the Blue Jays and the Dodgers, right? If I'm not mistaken, the Blue Jays is ranked, what, 15th in payroll, if I'm not mistaken?
Well, they would be probably in the middle of the pack because you got to remember they paid quite a bit of money there, first of all, this offseason for Vladimir Guerrero, right?
That is true.
$450 million contract. And then, you know, they got still players like George Springer, who signed on for a 5-year deal at I think it was 100 or 120 mil. So, you know, he's on the books for about 2025. And then, you know, they got some pretty decent pitching and stuff that utilizes some of that payroll. And it's probably going to go up because you got to remember, Bo Bichette's becoming a free agent this offseason as well. So, but who knows if the Blue Jays even sign Bichette back, because look what they've just done while he's been on the bench.
That's a good point. Now, Joey, I don't think a lot of people realize this, right? But the World Series, this World Series, like we talked about it off air about some stuff. There's a lot of storylines going on that we're going to talk about over the next 2 weeks. Because I know you're a little short on time for this week, but I know for the next 2 weeks we're going to talk about a lot of storylines. But the first one I want to talk about, Joey, this might be the first time in MLB history that we have 3 of the top players in baseball. 3 of the top players in baseball with Ohtani, with Vlad, and Springer. 2 of them, which are on the Blue Jays team.
Yes.
What is your thoughts on that this might be the first time that we've had 3 of the top players in baseball?
Well, you could even take that further. So I had a little conversation with the good doctor yesterday on how to find out what his opinions were. And I was actually quite shocked because normally when I talk with the good doctor, he's not so much a homer, but this time he was a true American homer. He was not having any of my conversation that the Blue Jays even have a legitimate chance at winning this World Series. He's thinking 5 games max, and that's it. And I told him I would be more than willing to put my money where my mouth is, and I'll take your money as well. But he didn't want to do that. So, but there's so many different layers to this World Series that I think people might get, not get, depends on where you're at. So like for me personally, there's so many different interesting storylines. I just finished checking out the media storylines and what they're putting out there. And it's just the typical storylines you'd think of. Shohei versus the Blue Jays, because Shohei didn't sign to the Blue Jays, and now, you know, it was a dark day up here in Canada when we found out that we lost out on the Shohei sweepstakes. So they're trying to make something about that. Then they got something about Bo Bichette returns. That one is a little bit more interesting because I don't know what the Blue Jays should do with Bo Bichette going into this World Series. I truly believe there's great risk at just giving him his position back, putting him back in the starting lineup, and taking out one of those young core players that have been performing and delivering for the Blue Jays. So a perfect example is Andres Gimenez, who hit 2 clutch home runs for us, Game 3, Game 4. We wouldn't even be talking about this right now if it wasn't for Gimenez. So what? We're going to take Gimenez out of the lineup and put Bichette in, who's cold, who hasn't. Yes, I'm sure he's doing his, batting practice in the off season, or in between games, and I heard he's been trying to run bases, and that's why he didn't actually play in the ALCS, was because he couldn't run the bases yet. So,
and do you take him out with, like you said, with the kid that you guys got at shortstop now, right? I mean, Bichette may be defensively better than him, but you got a guy that's coming off on a cold bat right now, right? So, okay, you don't put him in the field, but then are you really going to take Springer out as your DH with the way that he's been hitting the ball?
Well, and from previous experience, we know he's Mr. Playoffs. He delivers. Look what he did for us in Game 7. That's a perfect example. So why would you take Georgie Boy out, right? But, some of the things that other storylines that I think that are very interesting for this matchup as well.
Well, hold on, Joey. I want to go back because I took a drink and I got choked. Let's realize Springer led the Blue Jays in WAR, wins above replacement.
I actually, to be honest, and I'll tell you in a second, I haven't had the time to look at all these stats and metrics. You brought this on me last night. I tried to do my best to prepare for today. I already had some things that I wanted to talk about. But if he does have that type of WAR replacement numbers right now, why would you take him out? And the other thing you got to keep in mind, the 4 starting pitchers for the Dodgers, you know what their ERA was for the NLCS?
It wasn't very good.
It was 0.68 ERA.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Dodgers. You're talking about the Blue Jays.
No, the Dodgers pitchers Starting pitchers, their ERA during the NLCS was 0.68 with Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, Shohei Ohtani, and who am I missing here?
I can't remember the last guy, but I know. The other.
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto, yeah.
Yamamoto.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, what I feel is the Blue Jays got to keep the pressure on the whole time during this series. They can't let the Dodgers creep up more than 2-3 runs. 3 runs max, because initially they got to keep the pressure on that pitchers to make Dave Roberts to make the mistake of when he pulls those pitchers and puts in his bullpen. I think the best chance we got is getting to that bullpen as fast as we possibly can each and every game.
I have to agree with you, but let's not take away, because you guys actually might have this one kid that might be pretty damn good.
Unos dos Trey Yasavich.
If I'm not mistaken, might have one of the nastiest splitters I've ever seen in all of baseball.
To me, according to me, I think he's the big wild card in this series. What everybody's got to keep in mind, yes, he is 22 years old.
Correct.
But I've never seen or heard of a pitcher that has been promoted so quickly from single A class ball all the way to the majors. Every month he jumped up an additional level of going from single A to double A to triple A all the way to the Blue Jays.
Correct.
He's only pitched 6 games in the majors, 3 of them being in the postseason.
Right.
He had a no-hitter against the Yankees, and this is where me and the good doctor had some discrepancy yesterday. Yes, the Yankees weren't the greatest team, but they are still the Yankees, and they still bring that nostalgia. And for this kid to come in and pitch a no-hit 5 innings against the Yankees, that was amazing. And then not only that, he's pitched an elimination game. He's pitched game 6. We would have never got to game 7 had he not delivered in game 6. He's got the nastiest splitter. And here's the other thing. No Dodger batter has hit a pitch off of him yet.
No.
What are they going to do? They're not even, I don't even know how they could prepare for this kid other than just doing the video replay. And I don't know how you can mimic that splitter in simulation.
Right. Now let's not get it twisted. The other guy that could be the greatest two-way player of all baseball, Shohei Ohtani, has a pretty nasty splitter. Has a nasty, pretty splitter also, right? But Shohei's hitting against the splitters, not too good. He only averages about a 200 batting average on the splitter. It might be one of his weakest pitches in baseball. And like you said, with the kid from Toronto who has possibly, as you say, the second best splitter or the first best splitter, where people say Shohei does. I mean, I would put the kid right there as possibly the second greatest splitter in baseball as we speak.
Well, okay. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but the way he's throwing some pitches right now, I would put him in a top 10 of the major leagues right now.
Okay, so here we go, because I know we got a short amount of time with you, right?
Yes.
And then next week, we're going to have you on talking even more baseball stories about this game.
Guess what?
Yeah.
You know what's going to be cool about next week?
What?
Guess who's off to game 1 of the World Series?
Did you get the ticket?
I scored tickets this morning. I booked my flight. I'm flying out in 5 hours to Toronto to get ready for game 1.
Nice.
So I apologize if I'm very excited with my words. I'm talking fast. I cannot settle myself down right now. I feel like Sonic the Hedgehog is running through my body right now. I feel like hulking up. I feel like doing the old. I'm so jacked, man.
Well, you know what? Maybe Outlaw Sports Talk may do a special show on Friday with at the World Series, and we can talk even more World Series.
We could.
But that's one of your big announcements that you had, right?
I think that's the biggest announcement, no?
Yeah, that pretty much is. But the reason Another reason I brought you on. So make sure you tune in tune in Friday. There might be a special show that we might have from Mr. Joey from Canada at the
We'll see how
World
the
Series.
internet signal works. That's going to be the biggest problem.
Right. That's what we'll do, right? Joey, so game 1, okay?
Yeah.
The odd makers kind of have this at a dead even heat, right?
Do they right now? I haven't looked at the odds.
They have the Dodgers a slight advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, a slight advantage. What are you thinking in game 1? Because right here, it says the atmosphere in Toronto is electric right now.
Oh, yeah, for
Electric.
sure. That's why I'm going, brother. And that's what you guys don't understand in the United States is up here in Canada, we got the whole country trying to travel to this game. We got the whole country behind this team. It's not like down in the US. Yes, you guys got as many people in one city as we have as a whole country, but it's a whole different dynamic. And that energy is going to be absolutely legit. Like, not only that, it was really interesting on Game 7. They were showing different highlights of Canadian sports that was happening during the Blue Jays game. And live crowds were erupting during live game action, during the Calgary Flames game, whoever was all playing from Canada at that time. Everybody just went out of their mind, man. Like, this has probably been one of the best things that I've experienced as a Canadian. And I cannot wait to see how it all unfolds.
Yeah, I can't wait. And then we're going to try to get you on. But Friday, we're going to try to do it. All right, Joey, because I know we got what, about another 10 minutes or so? Right?
Yeah. Well,
10 minutes or so?
5 or 7. I gotta go get some needles in my butt. That's what I'm doing.
So there you go. This is what I want to talk about then. There's the new league called the Continental Football League here in the United States, right?
Yeah.
And they are going to do something called the Continental Shift in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Joey, you've seen this. You've seen how this works, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Many times.
How is this going to fare on an American field?
Fair on the American field. Well,
like field shorter, hash marks don't change, all of that stuff. How is it going to fare on an American field?
Well, you're still going to see the same challenges that you do in the NFL. You know, you still are trying to work within a smaller field confines to move the ball. But what's nice about it with going to the Continental Shift is offenses are going to have more opportunities to have the ball. That is basically the whole reason why the NFL changed the kickoff rules. There was 2 reasons this past year: player safety, and they're trying to create more excitement. Because if you don't place the ball in the proper landing zone or the ball gets shifted up to the 35 or the 40, which allows the opportunity for exciting action. Here's a perfect example. What just happened this past week with the New York Giants and the Denver Broncos?
Yeah.
How exciting of a game was that? And to have all that action, to see a team come back, then lose the lead, and then come back again.
Right.
Like, that was so fun. And even better for me because I had Bo Nix on my fantasy football team. But, like, honestly, that was an exciting game. You know, let's go back to the first game of the NFL this year. Or the first Monday nighter, the Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens, and what happened in the last couple minutes, and the fumble, and Buffalo had opportunities to try to come back and march the ball back. You know, and that's what's nice about this. You come into a game, and if a team's down by 2 touchdowns, the game's not over.
Right.
You don't have to worry about teams just milking out the clock. Like, even if it's within the last 3-4 minutes with the stop clock and the shorter play clock of the 20 seconds, you're creating more opportunities to give that offense a chance to do something. And so just last thing, if I was a person watching the Continental Football League and we're down to the last 5 minutes, we're down to 1 score, 2 scores, even if it's 2 scores, I am not flipping that channel because I know there's the potential for action to happen and awesome, interesting, exciting football action that will draw me to that screen.
Okay.
So, me personally, I think the Continental Football League is trying to be creative in how it can incorporate more offense and make more excitement.
Interesting. Okay, you say you're not gonna, that last 5 minutes, you're not gonna turn off the screen, right? So we go from 3 downs in the fourth quarter, from to the fourth quarter with a 20-second play clock. You kept talking about it increases the tempo. So how would you do it? Because now you can get to use the what is it, the waggy and the rook thing, right?
Oh yeah. You're talking about the backfield motion and then the rooms there, right?
Yeah. So how would you do that as a coach building a team? Did you take that into factor because of the continental shift in that fourth quarter? Like, are you going to go more run heavy, or are you going to go more pass heavy, or what is the concept of going? How would you do it?
Well, let's start with the run game. First of all, the run game is going to pretty much get eliminated out of the fourth quarter because, let's say you're the team that's leading by a couple touchdowns. Well, you can't really run out the clock. You don't got 3 downs at 40 seconds or 45 seconds of play clock to run out 2 minutes of time for just 4 downs, right? You're only going to get 40 seconds max to be able to kill clock. So, that's a big strategic move now by even the coach that's leading in the game. Are you just really going to rely on a running game when you only got 2 downs to try to move it for a first down? So that's going to create more passing. And if there is more passing and there's incomplete passes, well, that's going to stop the clock. So that's going to allow, again, more action to happen. But in terms of how I would coach it, I don't know how I would coach it. I ain't no coach, bro. But what I do know as a fan is, like I'm saying, I would not change my channel because I know from previous experiences watching the CFL and even watching the NFL, despite how some of their rules are set up, that's good action to watch. The problem with the NFL is they got too many ways that you can kill the end of a game without excitement.
Gotcha. Now, the other thing that they're going to do is the rogue.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's, and then you got the halo kick for the 5 yards, right?
I like that.
Then we got like 2 minutes before you got to go. Or do we want to talk about this next week?
Let's just go ahead.
Okay. How, as an American fan, are we going to have to be able to concept and take that concept in of what the rogue is and that 5, or as a player? What is the mindset of these guys who have probably never done it? What is their mindset going to be? And how are they going to have to prepare for that?
So if you're a punt returner or a kick returner, so one of the main things is with the rogue there, you need to get that ball out of the end zone if it's a missed field goal or a punt lands in the end zone. As far as I know, up here in Canada, that's going to allow you to get a single point if you are tackled in the end zone or if you kneel the ball in the end zone after catching it. So people are going to need to be a lot more mindful of getting that ball out of the end zone again, which might create more excitement. So here's a perfect example. Let's say the game is 17-17, 3 seconds left. They kick the field goal. It goes wide, but it's landing near the very back of the end zone and somebody catches it. Well, guess what? That guy's got to get that ball out of the end zone or they're going to lose the game. Again, more action.
Ooh. See, I don't think people know. I didn't think people that just watch American football knew that. All right, now, the halo as a player, because, there's no fair catch. You got to have the halo around you. Okay? How is that as a player? Like, what is the concept that an American player is going to have to realize on that one?
That they can have a second to think before they have to just run with that ball. Like most of those times, let's not be naive here. When those guys are catching, doing a fair catch, sometimes they could literally get their head closed off if the defender times it perfect, right? And if we're all about player safety and with knowing about concussions and stuff like that, why do we want to continue to put our players at critical risk? So by having that player halo, allowing 5 yards distance from it isn't going to take away from the action that could happen out of the return. All it's going to take away is the guy possibly getting his head chopped off by a tackle.
Right. All right, Joey, we got 30 seconds. We're going over 30 seconds. Ready?
Yeah.
Here's where it is. I got to ask you, as a
Okay.
Canadian fan
Yes.
and watching the CFL, should the American fans give the Continental Football League, after all the stuff that I've sent you in the Continental Divide or the Continental Shift that they're going to do in the fourth quarter, should the fans of America give the Continental Football what it deserves and to at least watch it and look at the product?
I would embrace it for sure. It's not going to take up a lot of your time. I looked at the schedule. It's going to be for 2 months. It's during a lull period where baseball's just starting and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with our summer. So it's not going to conflict with how we live our lives. And for myself as a football fan, if I can get football 24/7, 365 days a year, I'll take it.
All right, Joey, go get your shots in your butts. We're going to try to do an Outlaw Sports
It's
Talk special.
physiotherapy. I'm getting what's called muscle stimulation. It's like a form of acupuncture. So I don't want people thinking I'm juicing up or I'm taking all these weird things. This is what I'm doing because I have a torn labrum in my hip and it helps alleviate the pain.
There you go. But we might try to do an Outlaw Sports Talk special on Friday. If
We'll chat tonight, tomorrow, and we'll see if we can.
Right, we'll check, and then tune in next Monday because Joey's going to be on the show. We're going to talk the World Series, and we're going to talk more about the Continental Divide from the Canadians' perspective because Joey's got some very interesting things, and I wanted to get his thoughts on the Continental Football League. But we'll do it. Joey, good luck, bro. I will talk to you, and we're going to try that out for over the next couple days. I know. Congrats for going to the World Series, bro.
Oh, man. Bucket list shit, bro.
There you go, bro. I love it. You already did Mania. You already did Mania.
Thanks for my invite.
No, bro. We're gonna try to do this Friday. If not, we're doing it Monday. And we're gonna have doing a whole hour on this shit.
The background too, instead of you guys just seeing the back of my kitchen here. So we'll get that going too down the road here. So
all right, bro. I'll talk to you.
Take care, everybody. Go Seahawks. Oh, no, wait. They're on the bye this week. Go Blue Jays.
That's my boy Joey from Canada. There you guys heard it. You heard it from a Canadian who watches the Canadian football. And listen, when Joey tells you Joey's a sports freak. Like right here. Joey is a sports freak. Joey watches literally every single sport in the world that I can know of. And I remember when we met Joey, he'd had this trip. He went to like 6 different wrestling events, including WrestleMania. He did a Ring of Honor show. Then he ended up doing like a couple little independent shows. Then he ended up going to an Orlando Magic game. I wonder if did he do a spring training game? I can't remember, but he had this whole itinerary of all these stuff that he played. So when the Continental Football League, I'm like, Joey, listen, you know these rules. I want to hear it from you, how this is going to look as from an American, and Joey had some stuff he was doing. He had, like he said, he had the doctor's appointment. So we'll have him on Monday. Try Friday for the World Series stuff. So it was interesting to see what his take was on the Continental Football League and the rules and how he sees it I think it's going to be interesting. Like Jason said right here, he goes, he's excited about the idea and the opportunity to create some great football. Like right here, makes this the finish special and creates amazing outcomes. Yeah, Jersey, I know that it was, but this is the new one. This is the new version of the Continental Football League, But if you guys haven't heard, you guys have not heard in the world of the Continental Football. There just happens to be a new team called the San Antonio Toros. Right here. Again, people, this is what we told you. This is what we've told you guys. This is a league that is built by the fans for the fans, is what it is. It's exactly what this league is built for. And I'm even going to give you guys, I'm even going to help out here because I'm going to do this right here. Put that there. Put this right here. Do something real quick, boys and girls. Boom. You want to know about this league and this team right here? Click that QR code right there. Scan that QR code. Listen, I've had Commissioner Kelly on. I've had Quincy Workman on the show, on the X-Fan show. We had Mike Kelly on the X-Fan show. And when these guys literally tell you this is a league built for the fans, by the fans, they're not lying. They're not lying at all. This is a league that is literally going, look right here. This is a league that is driven for the fans, by the fans. Is what it is. Look, you can become an insider. Type your email in. Boom. Hit. Join the Stampede. Listen, San Antonio has been screwed over time after time after time again by billionaires and all of that stuff. I think what the Toros and the Continental Football League is doing is they're, as they said in one of their tweets, they're grabbing the bull by the horn and taking it away from billionaires. Guys, there's a reason why me and Arlington started the X-Fan show. It was for the fans, by the fans. There's a reason why guys like Jason Leroy started Texans Talking Football. For the fans, by the fans. There's a reason why when Jersey was broadcasting. For the fans, by the fans. This is a league, if you are a fan of sports, that you can get behind. I don't think this is going to go really anywhere anytime soon. I really don't. I think it's going to expand. What's up, Wyatt? I think this league is going to expand in the near future. I mean, right now that we have 3 teams, I would say no later, because they're kicking off in May. I'm saying, like Joey said, it's 2 months of our time, people. 2 months of our time to give up. And from what Commissioner Kelly has said, that tickets aren't going to be that expensive. They're just not. And again, like I said, San Antonio has held a special place in my heart. I'm getting gear. When the gear comes out for the Toros, I'm getting San Antonio gear. I'm getting Texas Syndicate gear. I mean, listen, guys, when I say that this is a league for the fans, by the fans, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what this is. And I think that the people that they have in place for this team is a really good thing. I think what Quincy's doing down there in Austin with the Syndicate is a great thing. Hell, what Manny Mazakis did up there in Ohio with the Ohio Valley Men. He had the playbook that each one of these guys that are going to get to follow to have this be successful. And with Mike Kelly sitting at the helm of the commissioner, these are people who know they've done, like Mike Kelly has said, done everything in every single position of football. Every position. I know what every single position does, right? And I'm going to come out and say it now. I'm going to tell you guys right now, out of all of these teams right now that I see, the 3 teams I see, no, Manny, don't get mad. Quincy, don't get mad. I love you. If the fans of San Antonio get behind this team, they could very well easily be the certain team of a different league and lead the way for this league to succeed. Just that simple. Just that simple. Me and Amanda were just on the Horns Forward podcast. We shared some of the experiences that we had and how much that we love San Antonio. Those guys down in San Antonio with the Horns Forward, Texans Talking Football, Brahma Babe, all of those guys. The work they took, what we did here in St. Louis with the Battlehawks, and took it to a whole nother level. They're tailgating, not so much. I mean, we still had to show them how to tailgate. I mean, San Antonio, they don't know how to tailgate. They think they do, but they don't really. St. Louis knows how to tailgate. San Antonio, not so much. But no, with the back-to-school drives that they did, the stuff like that, like what we did here, they took it to a whole nother level. Whole nother level down here in San Antonio. I think this was a right decision by the Continental Football League. You could be getting almost, we can get a little Texas two-step going with Austin and San Antonio. So if I'm not mistaken, Jay, you correct me, but they're 2-hour drive from each other, something like that. 2-hour drive, something like that. It's not very far. We know the San Antonio fans travel. I mean, shit, Bulls on Parade, they traveled all over. But I think you get the fans behind this, where the fans actually have some kind of fan-controlled stuff in this league. I think you can get some fans traveling within that radius of each other. I really do. I think it's a smart move for them to have this team in San Antonio. I think it's a smart team to have the team in Austin, because they're very close. I'd like to see who's going to be up there with Ohio Valley. Love to see that. I'm really looking forward to see when they announce that team, where it's at and all of that stuff. I mean, I already told Amanda we're taking a trip down to Austin to support the syndicate. I've already told her that. Taking a trip. She's like, what? I was like, yep, taking a trip. We're going to Austin. She wasn't happy, but, she'll get over it. It's football. She loves football. See, I'm letting her go to Dallas. See, that's how I did that. I let her go to Dallas for the Vikings game. So now she has to let me go to Austin for a football game. And what would be great? What would be great? Oh, God. Please, football gods of the world. Please, football gods of the world. Have the first game. The Texas Syndicate, or the San Antonio Toros versus the Texas Syndicates. The first game on a Saturday night, and the Texas Syndicate win. Yes, have that as the first game that kicks your season off for the South Division. Forget the other two teams, or however many other teams, 5, 6, 7 other teams you put in to their sweet baby and your Jesus and your golden fleece diaper. Please, please let it happen. Please let it happen, because it would be phenomenal if that was the first game for the South Division. That would be a phenomenal game. And have it in Austin, Texas. Have all them, weirdos, the Toros, driving up to Austin, having them do their Bulls on Parade. Listen, Jay, I'm just going to ask you right now, bro. I'm just going to ask you right now. And you can take this to BD, take this to Jackie, take this to all those guys. Please don't do the Horns Forward. Please don't. Please don't. Let's come up with something different. Like the Continental Football League put out, you got to take the Bulls by the horn. Can we do something like that? Not Horns Forward, please. Can we do something different for the Toros? Let's do something different for the Toros. And you know what, Toros? I'm telling you, go to Alamo Brew. Brewing Company and say, hey, the Brahmas screwed us. The UFL screwed us. Mike Rapoli screwed us. Russ Brandon screwed us. And say, let's take the Alamo, let's take the Brahma beer and turn it into the Toro beer. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? I'd have some Toro beers. If they did that, I'd have them right there in my window. If they did that. Please. Please. I don't know. But anyways, I'm excited about this. I love the pick for San Antonio. There, I think it automatically starts a rivalry with the Texas Syndicate. I think it's a great thing. And again, right there, there's the link. That'll take you right to, right? If you guys don't believe me here, I'm going to show you right now. Look, if you don't believe me, I'm taking a picture of it right now. I'm going to show you this. Right there. It takes you right there to their website. Right there. You see it. Right there. There's the bullpen. There's the bullpen. Bullpen, please. Please don't do the horns forward. I like your guys. I like the Continental. Grab the bulls by the horn. Please just don't do the horns forward, please. Please. And let me know when the fitted hats come in for the Toros. I'll get a fitted hat because I like your guys' color scheme. But look, guys, you see right there. That little link I have up there in the screen, right there. Takes you right to their website. Sign up. Join it. Regardless if you're in St. Louis or if you're in New York, wherever you are watching this show. We've been told for years that one league was for the fans, but yet we see it's for billionaires. This league here, I mean, if you guys don't believe me, look, I'll show you. Right here. You can say I am whatever you want. Right here. A fan-driven professional league bringing football back to America's heartland. This is a league for the fans, by the fans. That's simple. And you heard what the Canadian said up north, Joey. He says he loves the idea of the continental shift that the Continental Football League is doing. He says it's going to be interesting. He says it's going to bring a totally different flair in the fourth quarter. He says you're not going to want to turn your TV off in that quarter because you don't know what's going to happen. He told you if it's 17-17 and they do the roog, and the ball doesn't come out of the end zone and the guy doesn't get out of the end zone, you just lost the game because you gave the other team a point now. Got to get it out of there. He says that's the excitement that you're going to see. And this is a guy that's from Canada who watches the CFL. And he's a Seahawks fan too. And he's a Blue Jays fan going to the World Series. So, I mean, I'm excited about this league. I mean, I know the bullpen is. I know Jay from San Antonio and Texans talking football. I mean, it's been if you're not following this league, people, and you are a true football fan and you want something, start looking at this league. Look, I mean, here, click here. Look, I'll give you guys another one. Click that link. It'll take you right to the Continental Football League, to their website. Signed up for it. Click on this one. Take you right to the Texas Syndicate page. I don't have one but I'm going to go back to the Toros because that's what I'm talking about. I don't have one for Ohio Valley yet for the show, but it's there. But again, now I got to get running because right after me, there's another individual who does a show called the A-Team with Amanda and Amanda and Amber. They're going to be on the show. They're going to be on their show. I have no idea what they're talking about. But tune in right after this at 7 o'clock. The girls come on and do their thing, which would be a great show. I know they're going to talk some UFL. I know they're going to talk some continental football stuff. Also, they actually have a special guest coming on also. So, yeah, should be fun. Should be a fun show for the girls. Guys, like I said, Friday, we're going to try to do a special Outlaw Sports Talk with Joey from Canada at the World Series. And then Joey will be tuning in again next Monday to talk World Series, talk more Continental Football League, talk more about the Continental Divide. And I do have one umbrage before I go. And I understand it. I understand why it's there. But San Antonio Current put out an article. Yet another minor league football team has landed in San Antonio. Well, San Antonio Current, here's what I'm going to tell you. Be prepared, because I don't think this team's going anywhere. Don't think this team's going anywhere. Just don't think so. Think they might be sticking around for a while. That's just my gut feeling. I don't know. Just my gut feeling. So quit bashing your new team and get behind them. San Antonio fans, I know you're hurt and all of that stuff. Get behind this team. Show the NFL. Show the UFL why you guys are a football city. And I know you guys can do it. All right, with that being said, I am out of here. This is Outlaw Sports. Thank you for watching. We will try to do the show Friday, the special show from the World Series in Toronto with Joey from Canada. With that being said, if we don't, I will see you next Monday talking World Series and all other sports stuff in the world. I will see you guys then.
Cage will burn inside. Spurge in the building, let's ride. You want the sanitized version? The court pooped, we're approved. Right now we're breaking every rule tonight. Raw truth, no filter. This is how we unleash, unleash. Can't contain what I release. Unleash, unleash. Breaking chains, I find my face. They try to box me in four walls, paint me picture perfect for their halls. But rebellion runs through my veins like fire. Every rule they made just fuels desire. To speak the words they don't want heard. Push boundaries with every single word. This stage is mine, my voice, my choice. Nobody silences this rap. I'm unleashed, unleashed. Can't contain what I release. I'm unleashed, unleashed. Breaking chains, I find my face. You think you know me? Think you control the narrative? Watch me tear it down, build it back my way. Every scar tells a story. Every battle makes me stronger. I will bow, I will beg. I'm unleashed, unleashed. Can't contain what I release. I'm unleashed, unleashed. Breaking chains, finding them. Unleashed, unleashed. This is me, my masterpiece. Spurs signing off, but never signing out.